Attention gamers. A few months ago I used a recent set of Lux buffs to voice more passive-aggressive complaints about my main role ADC, and then after a few more Lux buffs I showed how certain builds can get her ult cooldown so short it makes Tyler 1 look tall, and in both videos I tried to show how Lux didn't need any more enhancements by getting so fed in both games it looked more like the end of a Nico Avocado video, so I recommend you check those out if you haven't. I even added a Lux moan montage for the perv incels that make up the majority of the League community. But Lux just got another crazy set of buffs around the numerical appearance of her E and her ult, and there are two competing theories as to why she's been buffed more than someone on stage at the Mr. Olympia competition. The first being that her win rate is atrocious at different ranks, which is a good indicator that a champ is in need of a push-up bra, and the second is that she is close to having the most skins in the game and Riot wants to sell more. So buffs to Lux equal buffs to their balance sheet, and I chose to ignore logic and say it's the second. So today you'll see just how strong the latest round set of big old buffs make this champ. Alright, so I chose to play support because I like living young, wild and free when I play League lately, and being tied down to a lane sounds awful when you are a slut for slaughter like me. And if you were to compare my support gameplay to EDP 445, then invades are like cupcakes as we catch frosted flakes, Ezreal checking his empty Tinder inbox and I steal first blood. Early laning phase is less eventful than your average LCS game, so I skipped ahead to unemployed Aladdin fleeing from the leader of the Bilgewater cartel as I come in and whip my nightlight baton through him, which serves as the condom to protect against Graves finishing, then throw a crystal prism and a rifle wielding rat to the mix, and this one had a happy ending. Then I tell our Warwick to film me pissing and shitting in the enemy forest in case I'm feeling cute and want to post it on Graves' timeline later, and if you think I won't wait in a random bush for 20 seconds waiting for someone to walk in, you're just as dumb as a dude who showed up to work in a literal clown costume today. We are now throwing shit at this statue because we think it's fun when Chester the Jester pops out and says, "Hope you're surprised, now tie me up," and f me like he had some weird sexual fetish anime arc tied to his lore. My lane roommate the rat wants to go shopping, so I decide to deploy a welfare ward in the weeds, which reveals one that people actually paid for, and as I'm killing it their jungler comes in saying something about prohibition or some shit, but I grew up in the 90s so I'm cool with hanging out in the smoking section until a grown-up finishes their shitty $2 Applebee's cocktail and can deal with my problem, so Graves joins his cigar in getting removed from the rift. Then when I'm coming back to lane, Twitch is all like, "Wait till you see the look on Ellen DeGeneres' face when I pop out and start launching fart darts at him," and I'm like, this would go well with a big titty laser, but speaking of tits, he flashes us, leaving us in what looks like a three-way between Shaco, Faco and a dead Twitch, but I shield the rodent like a damn Marvel character and wait for that greedy moron to take a one-way ticket back to base. I'm now making up stories in all chat about having Sunday school to attend so that the other team thinks they will be screwing me over if they don't forfeit, which is reverse psychology on these virgins who clearly haven't learned to look both ways before crossing the corner, so with the help from Bollywood Boy we make sure Graves describes both his name and location. I get word that Chuckles the annoying shitbag will be scanning for Wi-Fi signals to jerk off to some Cirque du Soleil reruns, which is weird, so I politely uninvite him from our presence. They have an angry ginger who looks like he just left a LARP convention thinking he can just light himself on fire and it won't end poorly for him, and if you didn't already know, Olaf players are not the kind to learn from their mistakes, so he does the exact thing 30 seconds later expecting a different result, which I believe my homeboy Skillet Biscuit Einstein would call insanity. Rift Alexa has been non-stop announcing that Akshan is pulling Varus foreskin over his head and saying he looks funny as a hooded archer, which has the sad shitter farming jungle camps to get his gold, but not on my watch as I light him up like a Christmas tree and then let Twitch wait an appropriate amount of time to kill him so that I don't get my participation trophy. And I'm not sure how seasoned the viewing cast today is, but 2 girls 1 cup had nothing on 2 stealths 1 Lux because, and I don't want to ruin anything here, but literally everything was getting shit on in this one, not just a wine glass, so yeah, we herded these piggyback into their spam F for fountain status and then won the game, and I didn't want to write this off as a fluke so I queued for a second. This one was against Bloody Turd Yasuo, and I just have a thing for deep-throating tornadoes, which baits the windshitter into a fight where he has no wind wall and thus no chance at winning, so the 4-whore gets the first blood. Then when I play support I like to roam more than a T-Mobile data plan as I come mid to show off my Ravenclaw cosplay while simultaneously slaughtering pink-haired Ariana Grande. But as I'm headed back home I start to feel like the pervy mustache man has bad intentions and my big blonde-titted intuition is spot on, but I see pings from J3's son, so I opt into making myself the earthworm on this end of this homicidal hook, knowing too damn well that a windshitter will fall for that 9 out of 9 times like they all do. This gives Commander Cucksuck IV the false confidence to play some PvE, but sometimes you gotta read the room. This particular one not having our ADC in it, so he overstays and dies before making a remark about how long it took Jin to get there. Some may even say it took him forever. But the weaponized pole vaulter in medieval soldier garb comes right back to the spot of his last fucking failure to tell the guy who looks like he belongs on a brawny paper towels logo that he's not going anywhere unless it's back to Fountain. Then straight back mid with the goal of finding my bait button, only to reveal myself, which clearly wasn't a deal breaker for Mr. Snot Rocket, so I approach the big gob of goo and throw the concept of light at him until he's weak enough to be a treat for this dog to eat. And the last time this blonde babe got buffed it was to her ult cooldown, which means I could go skinny dipping in river every 30 seconds and shine the spotlight on that Twitter simp to alley-oop Mr. Snoop to boop her on the snoot for another kill, and then by the time I get back home the titty lasers are already recharged and ready to go, which lands Jennifer an easy kill and opens the door for me to hit a flash steal yo mom call me young gravy combo on a second one that was likely already secured. So then my ADC looks at me and goes, "Your outfit is making our hooded midget employees think you are their leader. Go attack that statue and they will follow your lead." So I do just that until the high noon windshitter comes in buzzing around like there's a hole in his head and air's flying out, so I wait for Counting Dracula to land a thin beam so that I don't have to actually aim my own shit and it all works out. But if you think this newly appointed brawny mascot is getting away, you might be crazier than Kanye West, so we chase the man who looks like he's trying to get away with stealing someone's front door until he too gets the root scoot combo, and just when I decide I'm gonna let someone else have a kill for once, it backfires and I have to resort to plan B, which I call the booby beam. This opens us up for a free tier 2 Towie, but quick tip: if you see someone TPing to a statue and you fire a skill shot right here 4 seconds too late, it'll do nothing, but if you are lucky it won't matter, your newly buffed ult will make her sadder anyways. That said, apparently J3 put too much pressure on his son growing up and now the kid has gone off the deep end hanging with the wrong crowd of people who don't have good intentions for him, so I come in trying to be the super hot blonde pure ass bitch who saves him, but I'm too late and the only thing left to do in my failed Hallmark movie anime arc is to murder everyone, which I do, but I don't think they were exactly happy with the alternate ending. We are now doing this funny thing which seems to be a staple in my ELO, where we start a massive objective thinking all 5 of our enemies are just going to be cool with it, and to no one's surprise Zachary comes flying in like he's late and frantically looking for his wallet, and brought a whole damn search party, but a bunch of them line up like a pile of white powder on a 2013 Lindsay Lohan's coffee table, so they all get beamed and bitched. Throw one last fight up top where the pattern of one overconfident windshitter baits his entire team into an obviously unwinnable fight, which results in an outcome similar to the first. So if you are wondering if these buffs are good, I have literally not lost on luck since they came out, in all of my 2 normal games. Rav out.